Get ready. We're huge Disney and Universal fans, don't get us wrong here. But just because we love all the parks in Florida and California doesn't mean we love every single attraction they have to offer. We're sure you'll agree that while these parks are littered with some of the best rides and attractions in the world, some leave a lot to be desired. Before we jump in, we'd like to give you a quick reminder to like this video and subscribe to our channel, as it really helps us reach a wider audience. Now, in this video we're outlining 6 Disney and Universal rides that we think should be replaced. Get ready. Number 6. Fast and Furious Supercharged in Universal Studios, Florida. This conversation feels done to death, but it needs to be mentioned in this kind of video. Fast and Furious Supercharged is a screen-based simulator ride that opened in 2018, replacing Disaster. It was met with a lot of negative feedback, and for a number of reasons. Firstly, Disaster was a much-loved and a classic Universal attraction. Once known as Earthquake, the ride was effectively an opening day attraction, so anything replacing it was going to cause grumblings. However, if the replacement is good, it can somewhat ease the pain. For example, Diagon Alley in the same park replaced Jaws, and while people were upset with Jaws being removed, it's widely accepted as a fair exchange given what we have now. The same can't be said for Fast and Furious Supercharged, unfortunately. The ride is fairly unimaginative and based on a divisive film franchise. Even fans of the franchise will admit that the ride doesn't exactly hit the heights of other attractions in Universal Orlando Resort. On top of that, Supercharged opened as the 3rd screen-based simulator in a row behind Skull Island Reign of Kong and Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon. This didn't help the reception and established this time as a rather dark period for new attractions in Universal Orlando Resort, although they have recovered with 2 new coasters in recent years. We think Universal should take the L and replace this ride as soon as possible. Of all of the rides in this video, this one has to be the most universally disliked. Any attraction in Universal Studios Florida takes up prime real estate, and we personally feel that this area could go to much better use. Universal have plenty of intellectual property to pull inspiration from, but whatever they go with, we think it'd be best to avoid another screen-based simulator. Number 5. Goofy's Sky School in Disney California Adventure. Disney California Adventure was a strange park upon opening in 2001. In the time since then, it has evolved into one of the best theme parks in the world, with the likes of Cars Land and Avengers Campus being added in recent years. We've seen a lot of older opening day attractions like Maliboomer, Superstar Limo and It's Tough to Be a Bug all close, and you can learn more about them in our video of defunct rides from California Adventure up in the corner right now. But some opening day attractions remain, one of which is Goofy's Sky School. We do love a family coaster, don't get us wrong, but the Wild Mouse style coaster just doesn't do it for us. We can see in Magic Kingdom in Florida that the Barnstormer has a similar theme but is a much better junior coaster. Goofy Sky School feels a bit out of place now in a park that has developed so much, and we think it would be a great spot for a new junior coaster for younger thrill seekers to enjoy. We've seen Primeval Whirl, another Wild Mouse coaster, be removed in Animal Kingdom in Walt Disney World, so Goofy Sky School could be next on the chopping block. Number 4. It's Tough to Be a Bug in Animal Kingdom. Speaking of Animal Kingdom, we think there's another attraction here that is apt for a refresh. It's Tough to Be a Bug sits under the Tree of Life, which is Animal Kingdom's centerpiece. It's based on a bug's life, following Flick and his pals taking on their enemy Hopper. As mentioned before, this attraction also operated in Disney California Adventure, but was removed to make way for Avengers Campus. It's a 4D show-based attraction, and while we enjoy it, it feels like it falls on the weaker end of the attractions Animal Kingdom has to offer. An attraction based inside the centerpiece feels like it should hold a lot more significance in the park. A Bug's Life was released in 1998, the same year that Animal Kingdom opened its doors. So it all made sense at the time, but that was 24 years ago now, and it's probably fair to say that A Bug's Life isn't among the most prolific Disney films today. They have a huge library to draw inspiration from. We think the likes of Zootopia, The Jungle Book, or an e-ticket Lion King attraction will be more suitable for this area. We'd also like to see a dark ride possibly go in here, although space could be an issue. Animal Kingdom is well covered for shows, with Festival of the Lion King, Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond, and Feather Friends in flight. The park could feel a little light on ride-based attractions, so it would be nice to see another in the middle of the park. Number 3. Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls in Islands of Adventure. This one tends to divide opinions. We actually made a video about what should replace Toon Lagoon as a whole, but we do like Popeye and Bluto's Bilge-Rock barges. Dudley Do writes Ripsaw Falls, not so much. Coming up on 23 years in operation, the ride feels very dated both in theming and in age. While the drop makes for a great picture, the on-ride experience is a little lackluster. Some of the indoor areas lack any theming, and you can even see exposed support beams at points. That said, we like having a log flume in Universal. It's a hot park, and having some rides where you can get wet are not only welcome, but necessary on some days. We know people are nostalgic about this attraction, and it may remind them of their childhood given how long it has been around, but we think it has overstayed its welcome a little bit. We'd love to see a new water ride go in its place. Not just an overhaul in theme, but a brand new ride would be very welcome. Maybe Universal could dip into DreamWorks IP and build a Madagascar or a Kung Fu Panda ride. Number 2, Muppet Vision 3D in Disney's Hollywood Studios. Jumping back across to Walt Disney World, Muppet Vision 3D in Hollywood Studios is an attraction that now feels out of place with the newer developments that have taken place in this park. Hollywood Studios has seen the arrival of Toy Story Land, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway all in the past 5 years. Prior to this, the park was short on attractions, but that's certainly no longer the case. Muppet Vision 3D finds its way into this video as Muppets feels dated and the attraction is located in a bit of an awkward spot. Star Tours has been in this park since its opening in 1989, and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened in 2019. Muppet Vision 3D and its area sit right between the two Star Wars areas in the park. While Galaxy's Edge is incredibly immersive, it's a bit disjointed from Star Tours. It can be a bit disorienting to encounter an AT-AT and Star Tours, and then pass a Muppets themed area before making your way onto Galaxy's Edge. This area feels earmarked for an eventual Star Wars expansion. Given how many Star Wars rides are here already, it would make sense for Muppet 3D to be replaced by a show or dining experience. This would allow Star Tours to be more connected to Galaxy's Edge, while also providing more Star Wars experiences that we know fans want. Number 1, the Simpsons Ride in Universal Studios Hollywood. The final entry on this list is one that we don't hate, but we don't love either. The real reason we think it should be replaced though is to offer more unique attractions in this park. Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal Orlando Resort share many attractions. This is happening more and more, to a point where it almost feels pointless to visit both resorts. While the Orlando Resort has plenty of unique attractions, Revenge of the Mummy, Transformers the Ride, Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, The Simpsons Ride, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey and Flight of the Hippogriff can all be found in both resorts. This makes up over half of the Hollywood Resort's attractions. Of course, the Studio Tour is specific to Hollywood, and the newly built Secret Life of Pets ride is also unique for now. We'd like to see more attractions in this park that there's only one of though, and that will make us want to visit both resorts more for different reasons. The Simpsons Ride feels like the best one to replace, given that Disney's acquisition of Fox means that Simpsons is now Disney IP. Not replacing the Florida version would mean both resorts gain a unique attraction by replacing the Hollywood version. This is a tight park with limited space though. The Simpsons Ride sits right at the top of a hill, and at the bottom of the hill is a bunch of film sets, so we can't exactly expect an outdoor coaster to replace the Simpsons Ride due to noise problems. It would need to be indoor and likely in the same building. While this might mean that it must be a simulator attraction, we'd love to see a different theme. Possibly something relevant to Hollywood like Universal Monsters, the Golden Age of Cinema, or something to that effect. If you enjoyed this video, check out our video on what should replace Toon Lagoon on screen now. Do you agree with our picks? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. And now you're ready.